Cojosao? Okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Okay.
Timer didn't start, dude. Rip.
Behold.
Okay, so
You
the Talos
walk
principle
from the
is
dust,
a
and you
first-person
walk
puzzle game,
in the
much
dark.
like Portal. It's
Hear
in
now
that
my
style.
voice,
And one thing we
and
do
know
is
that
go
I
out of bounds a
am
lot.
your
The main trick we
and
use to
I
go out of
am
bounds is
called
called item
Elohim.
jumping. It's
Seek me in
essentially
my
the physics
temple,
engine is
if you
very
are worthy.
messed up, and you can use items to get a lot of height if you place them with correct timing
The
against a
shapes you are
wall.
collecting are
And
not
you will
mere
see that a lot throughout the run. It's the main way to go out of bounds and solve the puzzles very quickly. You will see that we are collecting sigils. Sigils are the terminal puzzles that you see that are green for now. We will also see. Sorry, go.
R.I.P.
R.I.P.
If one's
So
good, then it's fine.
there's gray, yellow, and red tetraminos. Green. That's the color. Green tetraminos allow us to unlock more levels, essentially, and you will see that later as they lead into the next world. And yellow items allow us to unlock items. And in this run, we will be unlocking one item, which is the cube. And we are supposed to unlock 5, but since we can clip inside the tower, which you will see later, we don't need to get a lot of the game, and any percent can cut a lot of sigils. And normally you can also complete the game without unlocking the cube, but it's very hard,
dependent.
and yeah, it's FPS dependent.
Step into the light, child. You walk now upon the stones.
Oh yeah, yes, essentially whenever they walk through one of the purple doors, they reset their checkpoint to inside or outside that puzzle, and that lets us warp to certain points instead of walking back every time, and that's very convenient and saves a bunch of time. And so essentially you saw them go from A1, which was the first level, now they're into A3. They collected mostly just one red and one yellow sigil, and red sigils unlock some gates in the tower, which you will also see later on. And now they are by the yes, I assume that someone got
These
bump jump.
worlds are yours,
Yeah,
and you are
Next,
free to
I am
walk
watching with
amongst
a
them
delay,
and
but
subdue
yes,
them.
bump jump is a horrible jump,
The great
and
tower,
as I said
where
earlier, the
you
physics
may not
engine
dwell.
is messed
For in
up,
the day that you
and
do,
essentially if you
shall
jump
surely
and
die.
aim for that small rock on the ground, you get a small bump that lets you go over that barrier and solve that puzzle without having the connector unlocked, which is the item that you're supposed to unlock first. But we can skip it and just unlock the cube, which is all we need to finish the game.
When I was a little girl, one of our
I
mean,
teachers,
just
Mrs.
like-
Higgins, told us to make a time capsule, write letters to the future,
five?
so one day we could remember
He
what it
skipped
was like.
I
A2,
skipped
to
A2
sure.
to pick one sigil in A7.
Dude, coughing
So-
got too hard.
A5 has a bunch of hard jumps, but there are also safer strats with the cube that I just saw ToRRent do, and the cube essentially makes those jumps trivial. But A5 in general is normally very hard if you're just using the geometry jumps. Fortunately, there are ways to make it a bit easier with the cube. And essentially, we'll very soon have enough green tetraminos to the point that we can go into World B. World B is essentially where we get our last tetraminos, and they will allow us to go into floor 2 of the tower, and that's where we are going to clip. Back paint, okay. Yes, paint is an item that is normally, its intended use is to paint messages, and people on your Steam friend list can see them and they can read them. But it also acts as a bonus item, and on top of of acting like a normal item, you can carry it through purple doors, and it also gives you much more height. So you will see people jumping over entire mountains because that's what paint
as
does.
is your purpose.
Just gives you a lot
But
of
your
height.
choices must be
Marathon
your
luck,
own.
got deception paint.
Therefore,
Let's
I
go.
will not
Deception
guide you
paint is
Let's
the
go!
worst
unless it is necessary.
paint. It loses like 25 seconds compared to back paint, which is what Koja got.
Oh, back paint, dude.
Oh, you fell in door too far. It is. Oh, that's one of the worst places to fall because you have to walk back out of the other level and grab the paint again. So that loses a lot of time.
I just hope I have enough FPS, dude.
And the graphics of this game look very mediocre, but that's because we have to run on lowest settings. Because most of those jumps that you see are FPS dependent, because as I said, the physics engine relies, amongst other things, relies on FPS, and the more FPS you have, the higher your jumps go, and so that's why we play with the lowest graphics. But with good graphics, this game is amazing with good graphics, but we can't
Dude.
show that off in a
You should all
speedrun.
buy it.
I can't get this jump. Holy moly.
You can just do the cube backup if it's the one in A5.
I'm in A6 still. Trying
Oh.
to get.
Oh, that knows the jump. Oh yeah, that jump is awful and very FPS dependent.
Like, I was ranging
You
around
are
250 and
learning
wasn't getting it.
as is your purpose.
As well
But
as the
your
paint jump at
choices
the end.
must be your own. Therefore,
Yeah,
I will not guide you.
It's unfortunate that this game relies so much on FPS when you're speedrunning it.
It's pay to win, guys. It's pay to win.
It's it's
It is pay to
essentially pay to
win.
win.
These worlds and we within them are made of
Yeah,
worlds.
thank you.
Hidden
My
parts,
English is
invisible to you,
I'm
yet
doing
part
great job.
of all
And
things.
I don't know
We
where
are
exactly they are because of the delay, but they should be heading out of A right now.
In A6.
I still have A5 and 7 left.
Okay, so they will soon leave A and get
God
into
dang.
B.
I cannot get this right now. You know what? Restart checkpoint. I don't care.
Okay, I'm leaving A.
Okay, so you will see soon that ToRRent is using the green tetraminos he collected for essentially just escaping from A, and he will do a trick called, probably already done it, it's called elevator skip, which essentially if you
Very clever.
press the buttons in a certain sequence, essentially the game thinks that you're already at the top of the elevator, and you can just restart checkpoint and it puts you at the top, and that saves like 30 seconds per elevator ride, something like that. It's ridiculous. The elevator rides are very long. Yeah, cubeless, essentially, I
You
talked
have
about it
proven
already.
your-
It's possible to complete the game without unlocking the cube, but it's very hard, and the final jump that we do is for the tower clip. Since we don't have the cube, we have to use Nexus Paint, which is 20% to end your run, essentially, because there is one very
new
bad paint
land.
spawn. Paint doesn't always spawn in the same place, so on the bad spawns, that ends your run. And also it's
ago,
very much
I
FPS
shaped
dependent
these
and
lands
very
according
hard
to the purpose
sequence of
the
jumps to
hidden
get it,
words.
so it's definitely not
Thus,
marathon
all
safe.
things have meaning, where before
I probably
was
should have
only
lowered my
chaos.
OBS settings.
No,
Like, I don't know.
So ToRRent
Nice, very good.
is almost out of B4 by
I
now.
had
I mean,
terrible
maybe
start because I haven't
maybe-
heard that I picked up the sigil, so I go back to check that I picked up. But
Oh.
anyway, I'm right now in B4 and I need one more sigil.
And yeah, after B4 we are done with collecting sigils. That is the extent of the game that we skip. You're supposed to do all of A, all of B, and all of C, but we can just skip so much because we can clip inside the tower. And when you
Because
clip
got
inside the
races.
tower, you can access... When you clip inside the tower, you can reach 2 of the 3 endings in this game, and messenger ending, which is supposed to be the 100% one casually, happens to be the quickest because of where the final warp for the ending is positioned. So you will see ToRRent heading into the tower soon, and he will will enter floor 1, which is essentially useless. We just need to go there to open floor 2, and floor 2 is where he will do the clip. Floor 1 in the terminal, you will see when he accesses the terminal there, you will see that the text is in Chinese, and that is the reason why we play on an alternate language. The text in Chinese there saves 4 seconds over English, and it's really stupid because it's literally the only thing that changes is that section, but it's some time, so why not?
It can all change, but like I don't know how I'm gonna do in B4. Like I don't know if we'll be able to get the FPS.
And what ToRRent is doing in the terminal right now is he's just opening floor 2, and that's it. Not much going on. The terminals normally supply you with the story of the game and all of the background philosophical kind of things, but we don't care. We just have to use that one because we need to access floor 2, and other than that they are completely useless. And ToRRent should soon get started on the clip, I think. We will break out 2 cubes out of this puzzle area, and it's very silly how we get them out.
I think I will get PB.
PB.
Yeah,
Oh,
PB.
congrats!
Personal best. Ooh, holy moly.
Oh, ToRRent also did a trick, which is called a cube jump, and essentially the the engine is once
I
again
can't believe.
doesn't make
Yes.
sense. And essentially you saw him changing his FPS limit to 30, and normally we run on uncapped because that's what we need for all the jumps, but with your FPS limit on 30 you can do those tricks called cube jumps, and the more FPS the higher they shoot you into the air, and if you have uncapped FPS you just skyrocket into the infinite and eventually you hit a death zone. So you need to limit your FPS, and that's why he switches to 30 FPS and get the tower clip. And Kojo is also doing the tower clip, I think. Hubert is still stuck
It
in
is now
E3.
time to choose your epitaph. For your body
Okay.
shall be
Nice.
entombed. It is written that there is no
So
greater
yeah,
love
that was
than
the
to lay
Talos
down
principle.
your life
It was
for
very
another.
hard to do commentary because the run is
Your
so fast,
sacrifice
there is
is
so much to
greater
talk
still.
about, but essentially you can just say the engine is messed up, and that explains the whole game. Essentially, at
But you should
least
all
it's
buy
speedrun.
it and play
You
casually.
should buy the game because casually it's an amazing puzzle game. If you like
Like-
Portal, this game is phenomenal.
We've done zero of them. Yeah, we've done zero of the puzzles.
Yeah, basically you only get a little spoiler on the ending, but you don't even understand what that ending is. So you're fine casually if you still want to play this.
Dude, FPS, please.
So yeah, B4, since we basically don't have the items that we would need, we're stuck using paint jumps. So bad paint in B4 is what loses a bunch of time, what loses like 20 seconds if you have close paint versus far paint. You need to work a lot more. Just awful. And you also need a lot of FPS for the jumps, which Hubert isn't getting apparently.
Yeah. Are you seeing my FPS? What it's at? It's on
I'm
the
watching
threshold.
and it's like, yeah, it's on. You should barely get them if you do them like perfectly, but it's very hard.
Yeah, so
Not looking
I definitely
good.
should have turned down my OBS settings.
Oh, you did it. You got a box of pie on my stream right now. So
My splits are looking very strange.
1146. That's a
I
good
had
number.
like plus 25 on A6, and then I have gold.
Huh. Oh, you just did the ending very quickly. Yeah, because of the
Yeah,
cube jump.
yeah, because my
There
PB was
is,
with 2 cube strat.
yeah. I think two cubes is what Kojo did, but I wasn't watching. Two cubes.
Two cubes.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna
So
show off the
maybe,
cool one.
yeah,
Yeah,
the slow one,
the slow one.
the
Yeah,
one with
pretty
two
much.
cubes.
Oh dang,
And yeah,
definitely
cube
a combat.
jumping is on the other category, which is basically 100% of this game, which is called all sigils, where you go around and actually collect all the
Oh,
sigils.
well, I
Uh,
did a dumb.
there
Just,
is a lot of cube jumping. Did
just
you
going.
forget a sigil or something?
Maybe. I might have
Um,
accidentally restarted checkpoint before necessary.
oh, that's bad.
That is bad.
So anyway, I was saying in all sigils there is a lot more of cube jumping, which is what you see in the end part. But in the start of the game, it's mostly not necessary because you can just walk around and do the thing with very quick item jumps. Cube
Yep.
jumps are more useful when you have to cover a lot of distance, and we really never have to do that in percent. And it also can help if you need a little bit of height, which is why we use it for the final thing.
All right, now I'm heading to the tower, dude. I'm gonna be like, I feel like this is gonna be like 19 minutes, dude. Holy moly! I definitely.
Well, that's below estimate. You're fine.
Well, the estimate's 15 minutes.
The estimate is 20, last I checked.
No, it's 15.
It's 15? Well,
Yeah.
then you're above estimate. Whoops. Um, but
Very
yeah.
much so. Yeah. I also do the superior pattern for floor two.
Oh yeah, I didn't pay attention, but there are various ways to solve the little terminal puzzles to unlock the gates, and there are some, like floor two is famous for having a stupidly easy one, which is just symmetric, and there is very hard ones to remember that are slightly faster because you need to turn the pieces slightly less times. And there is a guy called Darkhead, which wrote down a program to figure out all of the most efficient solutions for the gates. Shoutouts to Darkhead, he's done a lot of programming for this game. The Auto Splitter, for example.
Yep. Yep. Superior
He also
pattern.
figured out, he also helped, along with Theos, to figure out paint sets, which is something I didn't really talk about. But basically, you can predict paint based on your other paint spawns, and that's basically it. But we didn't know about it because we had really nothing to hint that you could do that until they looked into the code and figured out that hey, if your A6 paint is deception, then your B4 paint is always the one in the back, and that's somewhat useful since you can reset runs with bad paint much earlier.
Yeah.
And I should also mention, paint doesn't just happen. It's not always there. You need to actually do certain actions, such as the easier one are starting a game or unlocking an item, and those come naturally. But there are also ones such as reading a QR code or collecting an audio log, which you
Which
have to
we.
go slightly out of your way to do. But
Oh dang,
most of
dude.
them you probably wouldn't even notice because they're so
Um,
close.
Kojo got probably one of the probably the best.
Yeah,
I got the worst.
it's there. Uh,
I got the one where you
Also,
have to
paint
reset.
sets aren't all equally as likely. There are five paint sets, and set zero, what we call set zero, and set four are the best, and they're the the most unlikely. They're only one
Oh,
in eight
rip.
chance.
You know, that setup didn't work. Oh well. I mean, so for this game, I've had a lot of fun with it in the past month or so. The only time I didn't have fun was learning all sigils. Honestly, that was the only time.
But yeah, this game is very good. I highly recommend at least playing it casually. Speedrunning requires FPS and it's very silly, but
There was a
overall.
demo somewhere. I don't
There
know
is
where
a
it was.
demo, but I don't think you can play it anymore.
I
Oh,
mean, you
You
can
also
play
can.
it. You can play it
You
through
can
the
also
main
play
game.
Sigils Overlocking.
Sigils of Elohim. Oh yeah, Sigils of Elohim is just a game with all of the puzzle gates. Like you
Wait,
saw the
did they
small puzzles
mislabel
to
us
unlock the cube
on
and
the
so.
stream?
I don't know.
Wait,
I'm watching from the hitboxes, so
can somebody
maybe.
Gosh, I am very bad at this, by the way. I practiced it for like an hour earlier. This is bad. It is very much so magic. Streamer magic.
You can do this. I
I
believe
can
in
do
you.
it. I can do it. You know, I'll
Let
just
the
go for
dreams
the
come true.
I'll go for the safe setup. How about that?
No,
Because
by the way,
marathons.
they did not mislabel us. We are the Talos principal.
Oh no, no, like under the names.
Huh?
Okay. Yeah, done. Okay, that was bad. Okay, I'm gonna leave before anything else happens.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah. What the names on screen are incorrect. It says that Cojosao is Hubert and Hubert is Cojosao. They are swapped.
Yeah. You
I
know,
only noticed now. Yeah.
I blame OBS for this loss.
You can blame the FPS. That's the good part about this game. If whenever you don't do well, it's just technical difficulties, I guess.
It was technical difficulties, like and then I'm gonna do a run after this and get like 12 minutes. It's stupid. Well, that was me being bad at video games again.
That was the Talos principle. Hopefully you enjoyed the race.
Yeah. Hold on, let me go